friends, Beck here, your local liberal feminist lawyer. And I don't know if I told y'all this, but I used to be anti-abortion. So in light of the leaked Supreme Court documents, I'm going to teach y'all how to talk to pro-lifers about Roe v. Wade. So if you're going to talk to pro-lifers about abortion rights and you concede that life may begin at conception, now you're talking about weighing a right against a right. The woman's right to bodily autonomy versus the child's right to live. Now, if we're talking about the woman's right to bodily autonomy versus the child's right to live, in every other circumstance other than pregnancy, the right to bodily autonomy supersedes someone else's right to live, even if they are a living person. For example, if I'm in the hospital with my daughter and the only thing that will save her life is a clipping from my nails, they cannot force me to even give a fingernail clipping to save my own daughter's life, a living person. In addition, if my daughter were still dying and I died and one of my organs were the only thing that could save her life, they can't even take my organs from my corpse without my permission. They cannot force me to use any of my bodily tissues for the life of another. This all boils down to the fact that pregnancy is the only circumstance under which any human being, alive or dead, can be forced to give over the use of their bodily tissues to sustain the life of another. And guess who are the only people who can get pregnant? The 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution is supposed to afford us all equal protection under the law. That means only people with uteruses are the ones that this law is subject to. We're the only ones that can be forced to give over our tissues. That's the point that changed my mind on abortion. It could be that life begins at conception and that's a baby, but no one else other than a pregnant woman can be forced to give over her tissues to sustain the life of another. It's not equal protection, whether you believe in it or not. I know some of y'all are having a hard time with the pro-lifers out there, and I really meant well when I was anti-abortion. I thought I was saving babies, and they probably do too. But whether that's a baby or not, it might be a baby. This is definitely a woman we're talking about. Now, if the pro-lifers start coming at you with Bible verses, ask them about some of the other theocratic societies that are out there in our world right now. Pose to them the conditions that are in those theocratic societies and ask them what they think about that. Our country has freedom of religion. That's great. Be who you are. Express yourself. But even if your religion tells you that a person has a soul from the moment of conception, that still does not give the United States the right to deprive people with uteruses of equal protection under the law. Back when I was anti-abortion, I was lucky enough to be able to step outside of the echo chamber and find people who were patient enough to ask me these real logical questions and get me to open my mind in a way that the rhetoric had not allowed before. So maybe you can be that for somebody else. Y'all, I'm telling you, I was the vice president of the Campus Pro-Life Club. I marched on Washington for anti-abortion rights, and a really, really good logical conversation and some education turned me right around. So don't give up. There's still hope.